Hen is somebody who's a kind of a paradox. On the one hand, he's lived a very tough life, and he knows a lot about the streets, about taking action, taking things into his own hands, and he's learned to live by his wits and and his skills in the middle of a conflict, and yet, whether he likes it or not, there is fundamental goodness in him. He'd like to he'd like to erase it. He'd like to grow out of it. As we know, he never can. He never will. So, of course, this story deals with that internal tug of war in ways that are, I think, entertaining and also emotional and exciting. Larry Kasdan and his son John, who have, I think, an innate sense of the fun, the heartache, the physicality, and even sometimes the hilarious awkwardness of Han Solo. And they really brought it to the page in a detailed way that moves the character front and center. And that's what was exciting to me. This is a movie about this amazing journey, this rite of passage of this important legendary character in cinema, Han Solo. Lando is first and foremost just incredibly cool, but there's that twinkle in his eye. He's funny, he's entertaining, incredibly handsome, charismatic, and you just know he's playing his cards close to the vest. That there's more to that guy than we've ever been allowed to see before. Donald Glover, who grew up loving what Billy D. Williams did with Lando, and he was honored to be able to dig a little deeper, show us a little more, let us see the younger version, let us understand, and have a little better insight into what makes him tick, what are his other abilities, and it's a terrific role, and Donald just brought it to the screen with such enthusiasm and commitment. He's a very creative guy. And yet with tremendous respect for his sense of who Lando was and what he meant to the movies and to pop culture. Phoebe, who plays L3, is such an inventive, improvisational talent and so funny, a terrific writer on her own, and I know that the Kasdans just adored what she was able to bring to the character, and in directing her, I was always looking for the takes that took advantage of the script as written, and then went a little further and tested and pushed Phoebe to see where else she could take the character, and often it was into some very funny headspaces. Tandy is incredibly charismatic and also has a kind of presence and strength that is not acting. Tandy is extremely intelligent, incredibly gracious, wildly talented, but nobody's pushover. And she lives by a code of ethics and principles that are very admirable. And she brought that kind of strength of character and honor to Val. One thing that I would say about Beckett, about Val, about Rio, is that we do see that there is honor among thieves. There is also dishonor. It's a paradox, but within it, these relationships are as complicated and as loaded with the possibility of real human connection and love, but also danger, betrayal, and disappointment. And so a lot of what Han is going to learn about the complexity of the world and the pain of loss and betrayal and disappointment comes from this relationship with this gang of outlaws, and his belief that they're going to be the key to his freedom. And in a way they are, and in a way they certainly can never be.